Alright, apologies for the technical difficulties. Looks like we got sound back on the stream. Currently riding on board with Willie, the current championship leader, captain of Team.com. We got a tight pack here between Hippo, Killer Pros, and looks like T-Bone. Killer Pros picks up half a second penalty. There's some scuffling going on there. Can't help any of their times at the moment, but Bob picks up the provisional pole position, 219.554. French finishing up the second hot lap, crosses the start-finish line, is able to improve and jumps up to provisional pole position with a 219.228. Looks like B French has been doing his homework over the break. Super fun. Happy though, jumps up into provisional pole position, taking it by only 0.2 of a second. There's only about 2.5 minutes left in qualifying, so this will likely be the last lap for a lot of the drivers at the moment. So let's jump on board with Willie as he approaches Rouge and up Bradion. Up to Kimmel Straight. Very tight apex there for Bradion as he hits the compression and goes up the hill. Kimmel Straight, an incredibly long straight, famous at Spa-Francorchamps. The pretty quick right, left, right of the comb. Very hard braking zone. Downhill, the 180 turn up Bracel. Double apex at Puhan. Very tricky corner if you have a low down for a setup. A lot of cars can either understeer quite a bit or oversteer depending on the setup of the car. Looks like really has a good balance. Touch of oversteer going through Campus and now through Stavelot. Through Blanchimont down towards the heartbreaking zone at the chicane. Let's see here what Willie is able to put down on the final, or close to the final lap of his qualifying session. Yes, and he does it. He takes provisional pole position with a 2:17.692, a full nearly half a second ahead of second position. T-Bone currently sitting in the second start position with Bob just after. These two, T-Bone and Bob, have been very strong in the most recent rounds of the league. Unfortunately plagued by a lot of technical issues and some mistakes here and there during the race. Hopefully we don't see a repeat of that today. Bob there setting the purple sector for sector 1 down the Kimmel Straight. Getting a nice tow by Dinosaur. Let's see if Dinosaur moves out of the way for him. It doesn't seem like it. Dinosaur's running his own race despite being teammates. They're still competing against each other. Oh, and we got Arnold there off track. Arnold is joining us from Division 2. I think that makes it so that there's 4 Beef Supreme cars on track. T-Bone goes a little, or sorry, that was Bob that went wide there at Blanchimont. I don't know if he's going to pick up a penalty there. He just dives into the pits and aborts the fast lap there. Diesel Turtle crossing the line. Isn't able to improve. Let's see here, and I think that might be it for qualifying. Once again, Willie demonstrates why he is the leading driver of this league. His pole position time was nearly 9/10 of a second clear of second place. Let's take a look at these qualifying results. So we got Willie in pole position, T-Bone starting second, Bob in third. So we got a 2-3 for Beef Supreme. Super Fun happy with a nice fourth start position. We got Beef French starting from fifth place, Dinosaur alongside in sixth. Killer Pros starting seventh alongside Cecil Turtle. Both of these two have been battling it out during our Division 2 races. We got Lamb King starting 9th, Sir Hames 10th. Quite a bit ways down for Sir Hames. We've seen Sir Hames perform quite highly in the past couple of rounds. It's interesting to see Sir Hames down in 10th. Likely he must have not have gotten a clean lap in. Onel 11th, Happy Hippo starting 12th. We got Rick James 13th in Accession. Did not start. Room settings have been reset. Excuse me. Based on our radar map, we have no rain on the radar. However, this is historical. So the likelihood that rain does happen is still there during the race. If you're just joining us, we are LRC. LRC stands for Learners Racing Collective. We run a league, an academy session, and various one-off fun events. If you want to join us, check out the pinned link in chat. Session, you're going to get top 4. We'll hold you to that. Let's see if you can finish in the top 4. Yeah, I'm looking at the current standings if they're up to date. Looks like Willie is in first place with 110 points. We got Sir Hames with 77. T-Bone in third with 54. Accession fourth with 52. Bob in fifth with 43. Dinosaur currently sitting in sixth with 31. Beef French seventh with 20. Super Fun in eighth with 16. Cecil Turtle ninth with 12. With 12 points, excuse me. So pretty tight midfield here. 2 points separate Accession and T-Bone. We've got, let's see here. Bob with 12 points ahead of Dinosaur, who's ahead of Beef French with a 11-point spread. And then Super Fun just 4 points behind Beef French. As for the team standings, we have Team.com in first with 237 points. Beef Supreme has jumped up into second position. Second place in the standings with 133 points. So nearly 100 points behind Team.com. We got the Hoonigan Honeys in third with 108. Art of Racing 68. And then Threat Level Midnight with 27. So Threat Level Midnight still having a hard time putting points on the board. Beef French, though, starting from 5th might help them out quite a bit today. Super Fun, happy, looking to score some mega points as well. Currently sitting in 8th in the standings, starting 4th on the grid. So we got a couple of D2 drivers jumping up into D1 today. We got Onel, who is, I believe, doing their debut in Division 1 today. Lamb King is no familiar driver to D1, but he is jumping up from D2 today as well as Kill Pros. And we'll be getting underway very shortly here. All right, our race organizer initiated the start procedure. We got our lights on, and the action starts now. So Willie gets a good start. T-Bone also gets a start. Everyone is starting from the 24-hour layout position. Looks like everyone is getting through pretty cleanly through Eau Rouge and Blanchimont, or sorry, not Blanchimont, Radion. Super Fun Happy is very close behind Bob. And look at this, T-Bone is overtaking Willie on the outside, but he has to give it up. Willie is in the defensive position and successfully keeps T-Bone from overtaking him through Lacombe. So T-Bone has some other issues now, getting quite squirrely through No Name Corner. Super Fun Happy looking to capitalize on the situation. Super Fun Happy gaining a position off the start there, jumping up into third place from fourth. So Hames picks up a half a second penalty, likely for exceeding track limits. Accession, starting from the back, has jumped up 2 positions, overtaking Happy Hippo and Onel on the opening lap. Killer Pros currently sitting in 6th place. Really good starting position for him. Good start to the race for him. B French having to defend through the chicane to make sure Killer Pros doesn't overtake him. And they go nearly alongside each other down the front straight, heading towards La Source. B French taking the defensive line. And up ahead, Super Fun Happy having to take a defensive line as well from Bob. Happy again, compromising his line through Eau Rouge and up Radion. Bob is going to have the slipstream all the way down Kimball Straight. Will it be enough to overtake, though? Superfun sticks towards the middle of the track, and Bob is actually bump drafting them to get them to go faster as a team. Killer Pros overtakes B French down at the end of Kimball Straight, so good work by Killer Pros there. Killer Bros gets alongside Bob as he makes a mistake coming out of Stavelot. Killer Bros makes the overtake successful through Blanchimont, heading down towards the chicane. I think he'll have no issue here staying ahead. And Bob picks up a half-a-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Bob can't seem to catch a break. Started in 3rd place, is dropped down into 5th. Oh no, Dinosaur looks like understeered off up through Radion and picks up a whopping 1 second penalty. The penalties here are pretty brutal as well, since the slowdown section is the long back straight through Blanchimont. Now 1 second penalty will translate to something about close to a 3 second penalty in terms of pace. Bob picks up another half a second penalty. I mean, this one actually might be the one from before. Cecil Turtle having to defend against Sir Hames in the fast-paced right and left-handers through campus. Both of them will be looking to overtake Dinosaur as he serves his penalty. Although Sir Hames does have to serve a half a second penalty as well. Yep, and through goes Accession, jumping up into 8th position. And Cecil into 7th. Bob there having a tough time with the chicane, and allows B French to go through. B French trying to preserve his overtake by being defensive down the source. But now Bob will have the slipstream through Eau Rouge and Radion all the way down the Kimmel Straight. We'll see if B French will be able to hold the position. Look at that overspeed by Bob, but he picks up another half a second penalty for exceeding track limits at the exit of Radion. He does successfully overtake B French. But will he be able to keep the position when they get down to Blanchimont? Cecil Turtle is starting to feel the pressure from Accession, who's climbing his way back up from the rear of the grid, starting from last place. Dinosaur is also in the mix, looking to capitalize on any opportunity that comes past. As well as Sir Hames, we have this 4-car train here fighting for 7th place. Mistaken, I believe all the cars here started on the racing mediums. I think except for Willie, who started on the softs. So Superfine also started on the softs. Killer Pearls also started on the softs. So that might explain the difference in pace we saw in the opening laps of this race. We're going to see another battle between Bob and B French as they go back up through Eau Rouge and Radion for one other time. Bob has the overspeed once again going down the Kimmel Straight. B French having to defend on the inside. Will he be able to successfully defend this time? Last time Bob was able to get through on the outside, but B French defends hard on the inside, and they collide. B French almost losing control there. Bob having to go wide. Cecil Turtle trying to capitalize from the incident between the two. And now Accession is going to be the big winner here. Accession slides to the inside of Cecil Turtle going down Brichelle. Oh, and they make contact, and Accession is taken out. Cecil Turtle spins at No Name. Oh no, and Rick James collides with Cecil there, coming out the exit. Ano's picking up the positions as well. Accession now with front spoiler damage or bumper damage, whichever you want to call it. I'll have to carry on the rest of this stint with that damage, limiting the top speed of the car. His pace is going to be severely diminished. We'll see if he decides to pit. Bob has pulled a significant gap on B French over the course of this last lap. 2.5 second gap. Killer Pro's staying pretty close to Super Fun. Killer Pro's getting quite squirrely there, compromising his entrance to Eau Rouge. Goes wide and exceeds the track limits in the exit of Radion on the left side. Picks up that half-second penalty. And now Sir Hames looking to attack B French. They go alongside each other down the Kemmel Straight. B French successfully defends that position. Yeah, Accession, it was a little bit tough to see on my end, but I think I did get the collision on stream. Sir Hames picked up a position on B French. Not sure what happened there. B French must have made some type of mistake and allowed Sir Hames to take 6th place. So Arnold with a speed advantage now. Will be looking to overtake Cecil Turtle down the Kemmel Straight, but Cecil will be doing his best to stay behind Rick James, picking up that slipstream to successfully defend from Arnold. We'll see if that works. I think Arnold might have exceeded track limits there. It's tough to see. Maybe he had a tire just on the inside. And Arnold lets up just a little bit, trying to not be too risky at this point in the race. Perhaps he'll let Cecil Turtle and Rick James battle it out ahead. So both cars being damaged, they're on equal footing here. Cecil Turtle looking for a way to get past Rick James, but loses the rear end going through Blanchimont. Back up with our race leader. Willie has now extended his lead by nearly 5 seconds from T-Bone. T-Bone in a somewhat of a no man's land, sitting in second place, nearly 5 seconds behind Willie, but 6 seconds ahead of Super Fun Happy. So the top 4 cars are currently running the Racing Soft Tire Compound. Bob is the first car of the Medium Tire Compound strategy runners. We'll see how much of a difference this plays throughout the race. Surhaim's not too far from Bob, so both of these running the alternative strategy. Oh yeah, so T-Bone is running the race mediums. Okay, so T-Bone looking in a pretty good position here. So it seems the tire advantage has flipped the other way as Willie's Racing Soft tires have become worn out. T-Bone will start to close the gap in the next couple of laps. T-Bone's last lap was a 219.499, and Willie's was a 220.24. Yeah, thank you for that 3. That was helpful. So the battle continues between Rick James and Cecil Turtle. So Willie will be putting probably 10 to 11 laps on these soft tires, and will take the racing medium tires to the rest of the race. No, so he jumps in right away. This is likely due to the fact that the mediums are actually not being worn out quite badly. So Willie looking to hop onto the mediums now that the softs have lost their advantage. And T-Bone now takes the lead of this race. Super Fun also takes a pit stop. All right, so Willie comes out in 8th place behind Cecil Turtle and Rick James. Oh no. And Rick James loses the car and hits the barrier on the exit of Lacombe. We got this tight battle here between Sir Hames and Bob. Bob desperately defending. Unfortunately, Sir Hames has a half a second penalty, so you won't be able to capitalize on the slipstream down Blanchimont. That'll be a sigh of relief for Bob here. But he goes wide through Blanchimont, and now he's probably going to pick up a, half a second penalty. So the advantage flips the other way. And next lap, Sir Hames will have an advantage going down Blanchimont. We'll see if Sir Hames can capitalize on this opportunity. Super Fun happy now, trying to make his way past Rick James, who now has damage on that front right tire there. Super Fun dives into the inside, but he gives up the position. He had, I think, enough overlap. And now Killapose is jumping into the action and takes advantage of the situation. Super Fun is not happy about that, and he is pushing Rick James along. But Rick James decides to take a pit. The damage is done. Super Fun has conceded a position to Killapros. Last lap we saw Sir Hames pick up quite a bit of time from Bob in the same section of the track. Here we go, and Sir Hames now has the overspeed going down the straight. Oh, and he hesitates. He isn't able to get alongside going through Blanchimont. I suspect Sir Hames is biding his time, waiting for the Kimmel straight to make a move. Pro is now looking to make an overtake on Cecil Turtle, who has yet to pit. Cecil Turtle goes defensive down the chicane, but Kilpros goes alongside and makes the overtake on the outside of the first half of the chicane and makes the overtake work, makes it stick. These last laps we've seen Bob struggle with what looks like understeer on the entrance of these corners. He's perhaps braking too late, missing the apex through Brissell. We saw him do the same thing through Campus. Session with a nice overtake on the outside of Happy Hippo. I mean, my Happy's mixed up. Sir Hames really putting on the pressure, looking for a way by Bob here, but Bob doing a good job defending that second place position. The only problem is that their fighting is slowing them both down against their race against the other cars on track. We'll see how much that affects them after the pit stop cycle. Sir Hames, though, looking to get alongside into the chicane, and no, he doesn't. He isn't able to make the overtake stick, as Bob successfully defends the corner from the inside line. Sir Hames will have to try again. As they continue to fight, you can see B-French there in the background catching up. So the squabbling between Bob and Sir Hames really slowing them both down. Well, no, it looks like Bob goes wide at Puhan and Sir Hames is able to go through. Was there any contact? I'm not sure. We can take a look at the replay, see if there was anything there. Tough to say. Relatively quiet race for Willie so far. Willie is likely still in the net lead. He's gained about 6 seconds to T-Bone in the last couple of laps. I wouldn't be surprised if Willie maintains the net lead after T-Bone takes the pit stop. Bob has picked up another half a second penalty. based off of what we've seen with Willie's opening stint, we'll likely see T-Bone take his pit stop either at the end of lap 17, that's this lap, or the next lap. That would be lap 18. Sir Hames has opened up the gap to Bob, who decides to take his pit stop now. We were unable to save fuel enough to make it to lap 17. So B French takes the pit stop as well. Willie gets past Dinosaur on track. So Willie hops back up to third place. So T-Bone has jumped into the pits. He's currently only 42 seconds ahead of Willie. I don't think that is enough to keep the lead. I think the lap delta here is close to 50 seconds to a minute. Dinosaur and Sir Hames take their pit stops. So Dinosaur's looking pretty good. We'll see what Dinosaur ends up. I think Killapros might be able to overtake Dinosaur. We'll see where Killapros is in relation to Sir Hames. I think those two are fairly close before the pit stop cycle started to diverge. So super fun also coming up. So Sir Hames coming out of the pit stop, and there goes Killapros down the Kimball Straight. So Sir Hames is behind Killapros. Super Fun here, coming up on Sir Hames' teammates. Super Fun happy passes Sir Hames. And now Sir Hames has the tire advantage though for the rest of this race. But he'll have to make that overtake on track. Super Fun having a really good race here, starting from 4th place and is now currently in 4th place. Killapros, I think, started from 7th or 8th, I believe, and is now in 3rd place. So very nice run here by Killapros, stepping up from Division 2. So Killer Pros has been running on those mediums for quite some time. They do not look happy. Let's just say that. So relative to Willys, Killer Pros' tires have degraded significantly more. We'll see if Killer Pros is able to hold off Sirham's in the closing laps of this race. And on a similar note, Super is going to have to defend against Bob, who is on fresh tires and on the racing soft tire compound. It's going to be a tall order for Killer Pros and a tall order for Super to maintain their top 5 positions. Killpro is going deep into the source, getting a poor exit out. Might be Bob's chance to overtake Killpro's, but he goes wide down Eau Rouge. He might pick up another penalty again. Let's see. It doesn't seem like it at the moment, but Killpro's obviously struggling on those medium compound tires. So both Super and Bob will look to capitalize on Killpro's tires falling off the cliff. Out there giving Killpro's a little bit of a bump. And he makes the overtake on the outside through Campus. So a nice move there by Bob. Killpro's there again, struggling with those tires. Super Fun also on mediums, but doesn't seem to be struggling as badly as Killpro's is. They go side by side through Blanchimont. Oh, they're gonna be able to stay side by side. No, oh, they do. And both of them stay on track. Both of them had to lift through the corner. Such a sketchy place to go side by side. Superfun takes the defensive line to keep his position, and Killpro's finally decides to take a pit stop. Jump off of those tires. But look at this. T-Bone has caught up to Willie. And the gap between the two is only 2 seconds. T-Bone on the softer tire compound. Let's see if T-Bone can make anything of it. It's looking real close here. We've got just over a lap left. Every turn here is crucial. T-Bone not getting the best exit out of Stavlo. He's about a second and a half down from Willie. I don't think it will be enough. But Willie needs to get past Happy Hippo here. So compromise his line just a little bit. Let's see if T-Bone. Oh no! Okay, good. So those two were unaffected by the spin there. So on to the final lap. T-Bone's tires have fallen off quite significantly in this last lap. He's struggling to continue to gain on Willie. It seems his tire advantage has neutralized on this last lap. He's closing the gap down to almost just over a second, and that gap has opened back up to about a second and a half. Willie down the Blanchimont straight and into the chicane one final time. This is why he is the current standing champion of the league. He's able to soak up the pressure, stay ahead, stay cool. So very nice finish by Willie, and very, very great effort by T-Bone there, keeping Willie honest. Only finishing a second and a half behind Willie. We had our lapped runners, Happy Hippo, Lamb King, and Cecil Turtle cross the line in 11th, 12th, and 13th place. Sir Ames crossed the line with a satisfying podium finish, 3rd place. Not bad for starting near the end of the grid. We got a battle between Superfun and B French down the chicane. Superfun goes deep, and B French likes to go the over under, and they go side by side towards the finish line, and Superfun takes it by nearly a 1/10 of a second. Dinosaur with a solid race. Finishes in the 7th position. Kilpros with a pretty decent race, struggled with those medium tires. Couldn't make them last, so had to pit for a set of soft tires. He had a good start to the race though. Succession there. Currently sitting in 9th place. Wasn't able to finish in the top 4 as he projected, but he will finish in 9th. And not bad for our Division 2 driver, Arnold, jumping up into Division 1 for the first time, finishing in the top 10, so good finish by Arnold, good run. Yeah, reporting opens right after the race. I'll do that right now, actually. All right, so let's take a look at the final results one more time. So Willie finishes in 1st place. T-Bone, again, bringing the challenge to Willie, but not quite enough. Finishes in 2nd, just over a second and a half from our leader. But he takes the fast lap by a huge margin of 217.296. Sir Hames with the final podium position. Bob in 4th. Decent result by him, although started in 3rd. Super in 5th. B French in 6th. I think this might be B French's top result in the league so far. Dinosaur 7th. Killer Pros 8th. Session 9th. Arnold 10th. Very, very strong debut performance by Arnold today. Happy Hippo, Lamb King in 11th, 12th. Cecil Turtle 13th, and Rick James in 14th. All right, everyone. So we have 2 more weeks of the league left. We have round 7 at Yas Marina. And then round 8 will be the final round of the league at Red Bull Ring. So lots to look forward to. Both tracks, excellent tracks for overtakes and battles. We'll be looking forward to that in the near future. So if you want to continue along the journey, definitely give us a follow or join our Discord. Our invite link is pinned to chat. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.